Music is life, you don't know. And I'm all set and ready to blow. I got some places out there I wanna see. It's gonna be irate, yeah. So put your hand in the air just for me. I want it up for the world to see, 'cause I wanted you and me's a fire. I'll bring the flame. It's gonna be irate, yeah. Boom, this is Mr. Nye, and you're listening and watching SAT Telecoms. Boom!
Welcome to SAT TV's news. I'm Shanna Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories, Catholic priest responds to Willie Favrier on abortion, 8 found dead in Bahamas beachfront tragedy, royal baby, Kate and William thank hospital staff, and in sports, Xerox Aces wins women's volleyball 2013 finals. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. Josiah Benoit, who accumulated the majority of votes at the National Youth Council's General Assembly on Sunday, July 21st, said he has a lot of plans in store for the Dominican youth.
First of all, I want to thank all of the youth that were present in Portsmouth at the General Assembly for their expression of support in the executive. And with respect to immediate plans for the council, we believe that the council should, of course, engage with the district youth groups and the district youth councils to put together a more comprehensive youth plan for the national executive during this tenure. Secondly, to that, we want to establish a better forum for young people to discuss and establish positions on national issues. So we really want to set up the youth parliament, the national youth parliament. And thirdly, to move away from too much dependency on our government subvention and to expand our resource pool. We want to establish an enterprise on the management of the National Youth Council.
In relation to the plans of establishing an enterprise, Mr. Benoit is thinking of looking at investing in agriculture or the fisheries sector. He also spoke of the need to establish an expanded resource base to provide resources for the youth throughout the island to pursue their programs.
Also, we have an idea in mind that we should acquire a piece of land because, these are the council for years have been operating out of a very inadequate office, and we want to have at least a foundation for an institution as important as the National Youth Council. And then from that, we need to acquire at least 1 acre. We can then establish a headquarters for the council. And the last remaining items are transportation, speaking from Spurman and permanent sort of transportation for the council that we can manage, and then establishing a media team so we can highlight the many activities that are presently ongoing by the youth groups across the country. So that is it is terms of the agenda that we try to achieve. We're going to try to achieve this.
According to Benoit, the mandate of the NYC is very large in terms of empowering young people to rise to greater levels in terms of careers and forward advancement.
Therefore, I think it's very important for the NYC to put itself in a better position to facilitate that empowerment in a environment that is conducive to holistic development of youth. It is, I would say, complex responsibility, and most executives enter the office without adequate finance or resources. However, we have to think outside of the box to establish a stronger network from the grassroots, I believe, so we can mobilize more support in doing our work, and that's the plan of this present executive.
In more news, are you interested in advertising your company or enhancing your photos for an affordable price? Green Isle Designs, a local upcoming web-based company, can definitely assist. Founder and Managing Director of Green Isle Designs, Mr. Onan Thomas, has designed photos for over 6 years. Mr. Thomas says the general objective is to assist Dominicans who need the advertisement and creative photo designs at an affordable price.
Green Isle Designs, we do a lot of poster design, flyers, wedding invitations, brochures, just name it. Once it's designed, we do it. It can be video advertising, yeah, we do animated video advertising. The idea come up being because a lot of my friends tell me I'm good at designing, and the whole putting together of the photos in Photoshop and stuff. And then maybe like about 2 years ago, I started with the video aspect of it, so visual effects and stuff like that. So I just, as my friends tell me, I was good at it. I just decide, well, you know what, I can maybe make a little money out of it, you know. So started it.
Currently, Mr. Thomas is the program technician at SAT Telecoms and sometimes takes up the duty of the video editor as well as the graphic designer. Some of his skills as managing director of Green Isle Designs include picture manipulation, video editing, and enterprise enhancement. He can also assist business managers with concepts for their new organizations. Although he has a full plate at SAT Telecoms with his work duties, roles, and responsibilities, he still manages to cater to his clients on Green Isle Designs.
Because I try to put a lot of work into it and what I have to do throughout the day, yeah. So most times I have to be doing it on free time, and that is something I don't have much of. The main advantage of my company is to put me out there as a design artist, motion, graphic, and my visuals, because yeah, I do a little video editing, freelance video editing.
Here is a message for those who are interested in designs but lack the courage to follow through.
Well, my message to young designers, well, graphic designers, practice, trust me, practice. Yeah, it took me 2 years just to pick up on the animating part of the art. So practice your art and you'll get there.
Mr. Thomas can be contacted through email greenisle.designs@gmail.com or on mobile number 613-7333.
On the second floor,
A number of persons who work in a building that houses a television company and a call center in Roseau rushed to the exits following reports of a fire in the building. Fire and ambulance officials, upon receiving the call at about 7:40 a.m. on Tuesday, July 23rd, immediately arrived on the scene to assess the situation. Many employees for both businesses housed in the building were seen on the outside, curiously estimating what was going on. One employee reported that smoke was seen exiting a window of the second floor of the building, which raised suspicion, and the officials were quickly alerted. However, another employee who works on the second floor where the fire originated explained that the fire was not serious. It appeared that someone who may have been smoking a cigarette threw the cigarette butt in a garbage bin, which was filled with discarded paper, and that ignited the contents in the bin. An employee for the television company who was on the second floor at the time injured one of her legs while trying to evacuate the building. She was stabilized by fire officials and then transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital for medical attention. The incident attracted a number of curious onlookers before police officials arrived on the scene to conduct their investigation. In other news, speaking at a recent press conference, Mr. Willie Février, the former executive director of the Dominica Planned Parenthood Association, addressed a question about the association's view on abortion, stated the laws of Dominica as it relates to abortion are quite invariable. He said they were written in the 19th century, and since the world is changing and we are now living in a more modern society, these laws should be relaxed.
Because at the moment, the only time one can get an abortion is if the mother's life is in danger. And one has to consider if perhaps that law cannot be changed in order to allow a woman who has been raped, for example, especially in a case of violent rape, whether she shouldn't be given some counseling and let her decide whether she should get a safe abortion. Now, a lot of people seem to think that the International Planned Parenthood Federation and family planning associations actually promote abortion. No. The International Planned Parenthood Federation is promoting safe abortion.
A number of women die annually as a result of the difficulty they encounter when performing abortions and the self-methods they use to do it. However, he said the association always promotes the use of contraceptives to prevent the need for an abortion or any unwanted pregnancy.
In my view, and in the view of the association, sometimes this restrictive law actually pushes people to get an unsafe abortion. And if there's a relaxation of some of that restriction, in some cases, in fact, some of the islands in the Caribbean have moved to that, where they have relaxed the law so that a woman who is raped, and in cases of incest, a woman can get the counseling and she can decide whether she would want to carry the pregnancy to term. If she doesn't, she gets a safe medical abortion. So the issue is safe abortion and not just abortion.
In response to this, Catholic priest Father Franklin Coffey says he does not support any call to relax the country's abortion laws, which states abortion is illegal in Dominica.
The fact that, killing is killing as far as you're concerned. The church says, and I believe that life begins at conception. And what's the difference between aborting a child and putting a gun through Malala's head because his campaign is supposed to be educated? The Taliban would think like him to say that a woman should not have a right to be educated. That is the comparison. I say it is perfect. But if the Taliban would go in a school bus, call Malala by name, and shoot her in her head, what's the difference to aborting a child in a mother's womb after almost 9 months, or 1 week, or 1 minute? Was the difference as far as I'm concerned? I see and that is one of the problems, I think, is the dignity of our people, dignity of the person. And again, internationally, abortion has been an issue.
Father Franklin noted the Church is of the view that we should all have the right to life. In more stories, according to the Cuban ambassador, Ms. Juana Elena Ramos Rodriguez, who represents the Cuban embassy in Dominica, the Cuban statement issued by the Community of Latin America and the Caribbean States, CELAC, apologizes for the President Evo Morales Aymas incident. Mr. Rodriguez says CELAC expresses great concern regarding the developments that occurred on July 2nd, when several European governments denied without any explanation the overflight for landing clearance to the official aircraft transporting Evo Morales Aymas, President of the State of Bolivia. As a consequence, the aircraft was forced to make an emergency landing at the Vienna International Airport in Austria. CELAC expresses their rejection of these unjustified actions, which have put at risk the safety of the Bolivian president and are contrary to the freedom of movement and the immunity of authority enjoyed by every head of state. The Community of Latin America and the Caribbean States underscores their solidarity with the President Evo Morales and the brotherly people of Bolivia. CELAC demands clarification of those acts, which constitute a violation of international law and the required explanations. In other stories, Ivor Stevenson, parliamentary representative for the Grand Fork constituency, in his address called for stronger family ties to help in the development of the area.
So, with strong pillars and foundations built within families, the school, the church, and other organizations in the communities, you will achieve your goals towards making healthy life decisions. In the family, I would like to encourage continued good family values that will bring wellness. I speak here of moral and spiritual values that seem to be lacking in our families and societies.
The family must always be considered as the nucleus of society, where fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters can all play an active role in the home and community, Mr. Stevenson explained.
Too many single-parenting families are invading our communities. We need strong families that will build on our culture by partaking in diets that will improve on your health. I speak here of eating healthy foods such as fruits, vegetables, staples, proteins, and other nutritional foods, especially those made available locally in your communities.
He encouraged the formation of more youth groups, business enterprises, cooperatives, and other organizations that will allow our youth to take leadership positions in their communities.
Your participation as young people in your own village organizations will surely empower you to be the future leaders of tomorrow. You will be aware that we need more spiritual leaders, more school principals, teachers, accountants, farmers, and the list goes on in our society. Through your participation in these village organizations, we will truly see the empowerment of our young people, because that's what forms the fabric of our society.
And in court news, 3 young men from the village of Mount Prosper were given a stern warning from Magistrate Bernard Paquette on Monday, July 22, 2013. Julius Hazel, Jah Yuzeb, and Normandi Letham were all charged with unlawfully throwing stones in the Mount Prosper public road to endanger persons and maliciously damaging a side glass of a car registration number PG542. The incident occurred in the village on Saturday, May 25, 2013. All the accused pled not guilty to both charges. In a separate incident, Julius Hazel was charged with threats after he allegedly threatened to kill Rodney Charles. He also pled not guilty to that charge. Damages to the vehicle estimated at $300 belonging to Rodney Charles from the same village. The young men were previously on station bail in the sum of $5,000, but Magistrate Paquette applied bail conditions, and as such they are to stay away from the prosecution's witnesses, particularly the virtual complainant Rodney Charles, not to offend and be of good conduct while on bail. They are also to report to the Rosa Police Station on Mondays and Fridays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The trial is scheduled to begin on September 23, 2013. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.